Hey, 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 hey. Hey. Yo. Good morning. I'm trying to fix the audio here. I'm not sure. I'm monitoring the music and it's making a big mess. We're here with Lore-bot. We're going to try to get Lore-bot working. This is version 4-ish. I don't know. Each version has had, multiple iterations. Started out with just a chat bot, a text chat, and I got like 70% of the way where I wanted it to be. And I thought, well, I'll go ahead and I'll work on the listening and the speaking while I, kind of keep up in that extra 30% to get, you know what I mean? It was like most of the way. And I wonder if this is like a more general problem with AI. Like it out of the gate, it looks like it's going to be wonderful and it's doing great things, and then like just it gets you 70% of the way there, and you realize that's as far as it's going to take you. So, as I've been making these improvements, it's been getting, I wouldn't say better. I saw a video recently where there was like It's like how artists used to draw with, on computers. And it's a girl drawing like a blue circle and then clicking like a paint bucket and then filling in the blue circle. And now then it's like versus now, and it's the girl doing it with AI, and she says, "Make me a blue circle," and it like makes her a blue circle, but like she goes, "Okay, now make it bigger," and then it makes it bigger, but it like changes it to a green circle, and she's like, "No, make it blue," and then now it's a blue square. And she's saying, "No, make it a blue circle," so now it's the perfect blue circle, but there's also a green circle next to it. I think that's just the trick. I think AI is just a lot of smoke and mirrors. It gets you in the car and it just drives you around the block, you know? It's like a taxi driver that's just driving its person around the block, racking up the fare until the passenger says, "Are we going in circles?" And then they're like, "Oh, no, 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 no. I'm glad you asked that." Many of these streets look very similar, don't they? I will continue on towards our destination. Because they got caught. That's how AI reacts. It reacts the exact same way. It will just act like nothing's wrong. It'll drive in circles, and you don't realize it's driving you in circles. Sometimes, like when I'm making changes to this Lore-bot, I can't tell how loud that music is. It feels like it's really loud. I'm going to turn the monitor off on this. Hang on. There we go. Okay. So now we've got some, hopefully, a little bit more quiet music. You know what? Nintendo doesn't like that, do they? I'm using Nintendo music. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I'm just turning the music off. Alright, bye-bye music. So I think that's what AI does a little bit. It talks you around. It kind of steers the conversation in certain ways to keep it in this safe zone that it can like manage. Um, and that's not 100% like human capabilities. It tries to steer you away from what it's not good at rather than admit it and say, "Okay, you're going to need to take the reins here because I don't really know what's going on anymore." It'll just press ahead and pretend like everything's fine. It's just a coyote running straight off a cliff. And it's going to keep running until you say, "Hey, look down." And it's like, "Okay, I will look down." Oh, it appears that I'm falling now. So I don't know. This AI journey, I've done a lot of work here programming AIs lately. And what have I learned? I've learned that it's a very handy tool. It is a very handy tool. There are elements of it that I do not think are unethical, that I think are very handy for artists, for programmers. I mean, this has allowed me to learn so much stuff about programming and about logic. Um, just from not having to like struggle over the syntax and everything, just being able to kind of see it and look at code and highlight code and say, what does this mean? Can you explain this to me? It's a very handy tool. It's also extremely easy to exploit. And I'm talking to somebody right now who's like selling stuff, um, like doing online stuff, and man, just some of the shady things that people are doing is crazy with AI. So we got to be careful. And I really want to stop generating via pre-trained models. I want to generate it based off my own artwork. Um, but even then, the large language models were initially trained off all the stuff they took from the internet. Like, that's all stolen data. I really can't get behind it. Frankly, at the end of this, at the end of my, I don't know, year-long exploration, how long's it been? A year? 6 months? It's probably been about 6 months. 3 months? Time is a blur. Let me look at a calendar, but after several months of going deep with this, I wouldn't have a problem if they banned AI. If they just said this is not, nope. Or like here's how you got to limit your model. You got to retrain your models. You got to start from scratch. You can't use. You got to pay people for their pictures. You got to pay people for their articles. You got to pay people for their blog entries. You got to pay people for their photographs and for their portraits and for all the stuff that you stole because that's all copyrighted. You don't need to go to the post office to file a copyright when you create an original work of art or a writing. What you put out in the world is automatically falls under your copyright in the United States. It's the same law that protects YouTube. That YouTube wields like a hammer against the users. Those are the same laws. The YouTube will protect itself, but you're not allowed to protect yourself. That's ridiculous. You should get compensated. If you had artwork on the internet between the years the beginning of time and 2016 or whatever, 2014, then you should get some money and you should get a cut of whatever they're making. That should be the public trust. The government, you know, gets all the wealth that's generated from that goes straight into the like healthcare. All money generated by AI goes into healthcare for everyone, and then education and housing and public events, so we can all go see the Weird Al show. No one will be unhappy ever. That's my future. Heavy AI restrictions could bring about the golden age, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not kid ourselves. Whatever benefits we stand to gain from AI, we need to decide right now who's going to benefit from that, where that benefit is going, who that's going to go to. We have, and like, just look at the societal implications of this technology that people always brag about or fantasize about. Well, if that does happen, don't we want to put that to work in the best possible way? Now's the time to plan our society based around that. Let's get rid of money. Universal basic income. Everybody gets 3 beads. Here's my new income system. 5 beads. No, 3 beads when you're young. You get more beads as you get older. And every day you can transact a bead. Right? It's not buying. It's not. I'm just making this up right now. It's not buying. It's like a stamp. It's like a punch card. You get to do like 3 of these activities a day. And let's see. Let's get like a lore-bot. Let's say you need to take a flight somewhere. Maybe like a long distance flight. Something that would be generally considered outside of use, like a daily expenditure. Then you'd hand over a bead, you'd trade your bead, and everyone's bead is different. Everyone's bead is like a unique identifier. So your bead always comes back to you. You see, after you trade your bead travels along these strings, which are powered by little flippers, and they knock the bead. The bead's got a hole in it, and it goes on the string, and it rolls. Well, actually, it slides like a zip line, I guess, from your home to wherever it's going, whoever you traded it to, and then we'll keep it for uh, a defined period. Maybe the beads expire. The beads expire, and maybe you just change the expiration length of the bead. Like here you go. Here's a 1 day bead. You get 1 day to spin this bead. That would kind of suck. But if you had like a 30-day bead, you could hang on to it, and then you could just do whatever you want in the next 30 days. You got an extra bead. So that's your incentive. But here's the thing. Everyone's bead, if you go out and you do a transaction bead, you will get another bead back. A duplicate bead will slide back and replace itself in your bead kennel that rests by your bed. And every morning you wake up and you get your 3 beads back. So there's actually currently, here's how the economy works. There's an extra bead in circulation now. that person you traded to, now they got an extra bead for however long you dictated. Now, why wouldn't everyone just give out all their beads for an super extended duration, like for 500 days, 500,000 years? Well, because those beads will vanish in a puff of smoke at the end of 2 more transactions. They lose their color, they turn gray. They lose their affiliation and their unique identifier with a person, and they turn into gray beads. Now, what are gray beads? Gray beads are like rewards club points. I don't know. When you get a gray bead, you can store it indefinitely. This is my future. This is our future if we want it. We can have a bead society, a cash-free, bead-based economy, self-sustaining, environmental, fully green. We could just live carefree and not have to worry about destroying the planet every day. All we got to do is not let those billionaire bastards take every bit of productivity from these technologies like they have over the past 30 years. That's my fun cyberpunk rant for the day. So let's talk about Lore-bot. Hmm. I got bit by a dog and it broke off half my fingernail. His tooth went like perfectly under my fingernail and then like popped it up in the middle and split it. It was quite painful. But I love my doggies. It's okay. He just trying to give me a kiss. But his little pug. They don't know what their mouths and their noses are so close together. I saw a pug trying to chase a ball the other day, but the ball was slightly too big for his mouth, so it kept shooting it out like a t-shirt cannon. It would make a pop sound and go shooting across the room. The dog would go nuts and chase it. It was adorable. Okay, Elden Ring bot of mine. What's our first step? What are we going to do today? So we've gone from a single script to a more complicated modular folder structure, which I'm quite excited about. However, it's a bit like pulling apart a chicken and then sticking it back together and hoping it walks. We got to get Lore-bot talking again. Let's run our main string. And see how we're doing so far. Ooh, no module named speech recognition. Okay, I know what the problem is here. It's looking for a module called speech recognition. One of the biggest problems with AI is their limited memory. This is why when Elon talks about scalability, it requires more and more, exponentially more power as you increase the intelligence. What he's saying is can't remember everything. If you want it to be able to remember everything in the whole universe, you need a computer the size of the universe. I'm surprised Elon doesn't realize that that puts a big hole in his whole AI is great theory, but he's gonna go for it. I guess he's gonna try to build his own universe of um, energy production facilities to power this. But this is where AI kind of just feels for it. It knows what it wants, so you won't get the same answer twice. You'll get the same basic answer twice, but it won't be the same thing. It'll just know that it created something in one of the scripts and it called it something to do with, oh, speech recognition. So when it goes to write and you have it program another script, if it goes to reference that other variable, a lot of times it makes up a name for that other variable based, it just guesses what it thought it called the variable. It doesn't actually remember, it just remembers what it was thinking and then tries to reproduce it. So I'm going to have to now go through and find a module that sounds a lot like it could be speech recognition, and then I've got to change all the names to make them match. So that's what we're going to do right now. And this is not going to be fun for you to watch because I'm doing it all off camera, and there's nothing to listen to. Maybe I could play an episode of Star Trek in reverse. Can I play an episode? I can do anything I want. Okay, let's get our Lore-bot directory. Here we go. I will actually show this on screen as well. I mean, why not? DP2. DP2, where are you? Wah, wah, wah. Wah, 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 wah. Can you even see that on screen? Not really. Oh well, here's my stuff. Modules, I'm looking for something. Speech recognition. Could be audio input, audio output. No, I think these are all empty. Also, brain, I think, is empty. Brain and memory are a case of that duplication where it started me out. It's like, make a file called brain.py. And I do that, and then like we talk about the script it's going to be, and then it's like, here you go, now save this to memory.py. Yeah, so brain's empty. This was all from one generation that I started. This will be empty. Okay. This will be empty. Let's get rid of all this stuff. Let's try to stay clean and orderly. It's definitely not the initialization. This also I thought was from the original. Yeah, that's also empty. Query engine personality, speech recognition. I'm going to say it might be recognition, query. I don't know. What are they having me do here? Okay, I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and ask Gemini their opinion. It's a lot like the problem with the village, and you're lost, and you ask the guys which way to the village. There's a fork in the road, and one of the guys always lies, and one of the guys always tells the truth. What do you ask them in order to get the correct set of directions to where you're going? It's like how do you get the correct answer from a chatbot that only gives you the correct answer 70% of the time? How do you verify using the chatbot? Okay, so I've moved my folder since I started a new version of this project, and a lot of the stuff on Linux is not. Um, Whoops. Let's just shrink down the screen a little bit. Pi audio gets grumpy. Alright, we'll try it again. Import error. Cannot import name base system prompt from module's personality. I promise that that naming thing is going to be 90% of the problems I have here debugging this. This error is actually good news. That's the other thing with AI. They try to spin everything like in the most positive light. They have to. I guess I don't like the fact that it feels that it has to weigh the goodness or badness of everything. Like it has to tell you if it's good or tell you if it's bad. Just tell me what happened. You don't have to say, that's actually very good. Don't panic. I'm your friggin' mental health counselor and your AI and your programming, but just stop it. I want to tear all the psychology out of this and make it just more mathematical. Because that's what you're fighting. You're fighting these hallucinations. AI is great in that it's bridged the ability for a computer to kind of be creative, to think outside the box. But without that, you just end up with a terrible goo monster. You need some kind of shape to structure its response, but it's creativity versus control. And as long as it takes the user to fiddle those switches, it's not truly helpful at all. Because if you knew the answer, you would have known exactly. You have to know exactly what you want. And if you already do that, then just do it. You don't need the AI. And I'm very multifaceted on my views on AI. There are good things about it, but man, I see it exploited. I have a friend who I like very much, and I disagree with the ethics of some of the way they're using it. Uh, Query engine.py is looking for a variable named base system prompt inside your personality py file, but I can't find it. Oh, okay, so let's go into our personality py file. And then here it is. We'll find it named something else. It's looking for base system prompt. So we have get cron system prompt right there. Okay. So I am going to ask Gemini at this point because Gemini created this problem. I will let it know. I'll say in personality.py that is referred to as I'll ask, should I change it in personality pi or query engine to make them consistent? So this is fine. Every once in a while, if you show it like the best way to do something, it will be like, oh yeah, it's very important to keep best practices. So you would think this thing would know best practices, but so often it blows straight through best practices. That like I can point out, even like as a novice programmer, I can be like, shouldn't you be doing this? And they'll be, oh yeah, definitely, that's definitely the best practice. Well, why didn't you? Uh, yeah, AI's got a long way to go. It's going to keep getting better, and they're going to keep getting more specialized. But all that requires more human input. It's not just going to happen on its own. Um, yeah, AI development is its own thing for sure. That's not going to go anywhere. But old school programming is going to be needed. There are already at a lot of companies people saying that they don't understand how any of the software works. Like the programmers there just have no idea what's going on. They're just vibe coding everything now. And the systems are getting all messy and tangled up. And more important than ever to have a good IT department who can use the AI cleanly and responsibly. If you fire your IT department and replace it with one guy and an AI, you're going to be in trouble as soon as that guy goes like on vacation. Have fun rebuilding your entire system. Okay, since your personality pie uses a function, def get cron system prompt, you have two choices. Cleanest way, blah, 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 blah. Best practices for keeping personality module flexible is to update your query engine to call that function instead of trying to import a static variable. Okay, so let's go into our query engine. Let's find out where, okay, import base system prompt. I'm gonna change the name of that. Fucking, I hate to do it though, because if it's referenced in one other place, then something else breaks. I don't want it to be called cron system prompt. Oh well, I'll leave it. Make sure I did that right. Import get cron system prompt. Yeah. Keep the rest of your class until you get to generate response. I'm putting the code side by side here. Here's our generate response function. So here it says combine search and personality for a verbatim response. That's definitely what I want. Here it says new method fetches lore and generates the verbatim response. Context self.getLore user query. 2. Then we call the function from personality pi to get the string. Then we use .format on the string and it returns. We send that to the Mistral brain and it returns our message. Okay, so here's another reference to base system prompt that they're wanting us to get rid of. I'm just checking these things to make sure that all this is the same. Sometimes, like here, it's basically just telling me that I need to change this part right here, this base system prompt format. I need to change to the get cron system prompt. But in order to do that, it's giving me additional context, like surrounding context and surrounding code. And a lot of times what they'll do is they will change stuff up here that you didn't want them to change. Down here, right? They'll rephrase stuff. They'll rename things. So you gotta check it. You gotta check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Gotta check it out. I gotta check it out right now. Yes, it does. Self.getLore, self-user query. And we're hitting our lore from our vector. DB. Okay, save. Save. I think it's looking good. We're going to hit another problem because this is way too complicated a program to work right out of the gate like this with only an hour's trouble. Module config has no attribute device. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Who's calling the device? Uh-oh. I may have just erased that file. Line 14. And main pi. Line 16. Searcher, lore searcher. Alright, let's head back over to config here. Here's our lore searcher. It's going to return the results of the lore searcher function. So let's see, inference model local. Embed, well, that may be some kind of problem. Oh, okay. This is probably where our problem is, the get lore. Let's see what. Alright, just put this at the bottom. Uh-huh. Alright, let me check this. My query engine. Voice path, models, and settings. Okay, once we have config open, we still need to verify that Nomic is our... Oh, alright, that should do it. So it said Nomic dim, your query engine, explicitly looks for config.nomicdim. If it isn't in config pi, the code will crash the moment it finishes looking for device. There's a trailing snippet. Inference model. Could change NVIDIA to CUDA. Oh, Nomic embed text. I don't see what it's referring to. It says, I notice your config says, oh, config, okay. Nomic embed text, there it is. Device, I'm going to just change it to CUDA. So I know that works. this stuff. Let's give it a shot. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, it's it's working. It's working. Let's try rolling. That's a neat trick. Hey, baby, can you... Oh, fuck. As soon as I hit the push to talk key, it errored out. Hey, we're getting there. We're building it. We're getting it. We're getting it. You just wait, Lore-bot. I'm coming down there for you, baby. I see you down there. Hi. You're going to be dancing around AI-generated alleys in the rain with an umbrella very soon. So I'm going to feed the error message into Gemini and say, explain to me what the fuck's going on. This is a classic scope error. It means your main.py is trying to check if the bot is currently recording, but the variable is recording hasn't been created yet or isn't accessible inside that specific function. Since you're using a push-talk setup, we need a flag, a simple true-false switch that lives at the top of your script so both the listener and the recorder can see it. Define the global variable. Once your main.py, open your main.py. Look for the section where you initialize your classes. You need to add isRecording variable there and set it to false by default. Update your onPress function. But because you're changing a variable that lives outside of the function, you have to tell Python to look for the global version of it. Otherwise, it thinks you're trying to create a new local one. Upon your onPress and onRelease functions, have them look like this. OnPress. Okay. Start your recording logic here. Whoop. Import threading. What is threading? Threading.thread. Okay, we need to do a bunch of stuff here. So we need to import Pi audio, import wave, import OS, whisper. They don't have torch on here, but I'm pretty sure I need torch for something, so I'm leaving it. See here again, I think it's changing the names on these. It says from modules.queryEngine. It says import speech recognition. Okay, so we got from modules personality. Import config. Or searcher. I feel like I'm trying to shape a ball of clay into a circle and a cube simultaneously. Searcher generate lore. Generate response and generate lore are probably the same thing. Let me just do the whole thing. Update our on press. I don't know what's going on there, but we'll keep it. Then it says, and in your on release, set is processing true. Oh, is processing is probably is listening. What? So right now, if I hold right control, let go, then accidentally tap it again while the AI is still thinking, the script will then start a second recording while the first one is still processing. This usually crashes the audio driver and causes a out-of-memory error. Okay, so here it is recording and is processing, so now they're doubling up. Okay. Okay, so I need to add an is processing equals false. Okay. So on release, oh, see, it got rid of something. Right here, I had a little buffer window so it wouldn't cut you off. That's weird that you would have an import right there. That should be... Yeah, I'm just going to get rid of that. I think that was a weird fix that they gave me. I don't think that was a best practices situation. The cycle, the chat cycle. Oh god, here we go. So we got run chat cycle. Calling a global variable. Setting is processing to true. I'm going to give it my current saying I'm looking at this, here's what I have currently, so maybe it'll take a closer look at just a specific section, compare them, and start to fix its brain a little bit. Looks clean and structurally sound. Since you're integrating the safety lock we discussed, you just need to wrap up the existing logic in the is processing flag. Alright, we'll try it. Run chat cycle. Just replace it. Where am I on press? On release. I'm so confused about my... Here we go. Uh-oh. Okay, so on release should look like this. Yeah, I just wrote over the wrong section there. Alright, we'll try it. We will try it. I feel like it's thinking too hard here. Hey, oh, okay. Record audio is not defined. I think it's probably named the wrong thing, but they're saying something's in the wrong place. Organize your main.py in the specific order. Just gonna give my whole main pie. It says I need to insert pi audio logic right above listen and transcribe. Looks like we were trying to open the microphone twice. Yes. Let's give it a shot. Okay, step one, we're in. It hasn't crashed. If I hold the button and it doesn't crash, if it actually listens to me, we're in again. If I release the button and it saves everything and starts trying to process it, we win again. Uh, then if it speaks back at me, we're victorious. Hello, how are you? Oh no, I turned my headphones off to check and see if they were still on. Okay, so number one, uh, it listened. It said it heard me. I had my headphones off, but I don't think it responded correctly. It says the crone stumbled. The GPT-4-all package is required for local inference. This looks very easy to fix. It says just pip install Nomic local. I'm going to double check this with Gemini just to verify. Let's see what they think. I don't want to bias them with my opinion. The final gatekeeper. Since we switched it to local, we need a specific backend to handle the math without calling an external API. So I need to run this in my vinv virtual environment. So let's get you going. Good, that's just what I was going to do. Just what was suggested by the computer. And we're done. So the first time I ask a question, it's going to take a minute to warm up, probably. But let's see. This might be it. Hello, how are you today? It didn't get my today. Just a nitpick. It still technically got it correct, but it will produce a similar answer, but that's not exactly what I said. So it's firing up. Raw prompt template is not defined. It's not connecting my personality. Probably because it's trying to reference something by a different name. Yeah, I think it's get cron system prompt is probably get lore. Where does it say raw prompt template? I'm just going to replace that. Let me see if anybody else refers to raw prompt template. Yeah, that was exactly the problem. From modules.personality. Yeah. Okay, good. Then yeah, this is the right answer, dumbass. Stupid fucking AI. So right here, what happened was they got the name wrong. They called it originally Git Cron System Prompt, which I didn't like. Remember, I didn't like that name, but I stuck with it because that was the name they gave it. And then further later, when they wrote the other end of that, they're like, oh, we'll just refer to that, that one where the cron gets the system prompt. We'll call that Git, prompt. That's what it was called, right? No, that's not what it was called. So it goes around like making all these things. Like it doesn't make matching parts. It just ow, my fingernail. It just it makes all the puzzle pieces different, and sometimes it's impossible to put them together. So you have to catch it. Sometimes you have to grab it like a snake and like hold it still and squeeze its neck until its head pops off. So hopefully this works. What they wanted me to do was they're like, okay, well, so we have part A over here, and it's supposed to be A over here, but we have a B over here. So what we're going to do is instead of changing this to this, we're going to make another line that says, if you see this, replace it with this, and if you see this, like it's, oh God, Jesus, just name on the right thing. That was a terrible analogy. It's really early. It's 6:15 in the morning. I'm going to try to go jog here before the rain comes. So I'd love to get this working. Let's give it another shot. Hello, can you hear me? Lore-bot, how you doing, bud? Let him wake up.
The fingers speak. He 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 ha, brave one, thou dost summoneth the ancient wisdom of the fingers. I hear thee, and I shall share the law that echoes within my being. Thou askest for a description of the sound. The wisdom of the fingers saith sound is the vibration of matter traveling through the air or another medium. It is sacred, as it carries the whispers of the world and the echoes of the
I hear your
past.
whispers, baby.
Remember, brave one, that the fingers
I'm
speak only
dancing.
what they
I'm
know.
dancing to him.
If thou seekest knowledge beyond the law, thou must journey forth and uncover the secrets thyself. Now go forth, and let the wisdom guide thee on thy quest to restore the Elden Ring. May the fingers watch over thee, and may their whispers lead thee to victory. Hey,
Go
hey, hey.
forth and let the wisdom guide thee on the quest to restore the Elden Ring. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. We got our Lore-bot version 4 off the floor. How do you feel, Lore-bot? Oh, it doesn't know its name's Lore-bot. It might get confused.
The fingers speak. Hey, 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 har, brave one, thou art eager to know the state of thy lord, but thou dost seek the wisdom of the fingers to guide thee in this matter. I shall consult the wisdom of the fingers for thee. The law speaks of a lord who hath been shattered and scattered across the lands. His essence is hidden within fragments, each one holding a piece of his power. The brave one must seek these shards to restore the Elden Ring. He he he, daunting task indeed, but the fingers foresee greatness in their journey. May the grace of the Elden Ring be with thee, brave one.
Tell me about the sacred relic sword. I'm not happy with the response time so
The
far.
fingers speak. He he he, brave one, listen well to the ancient wisdom I bestow upon you. The sacred relic sword, a weapon of great power and mystery, is one that once graced the hands of the crucible knights. Its
Oh,
form, a curved
no,
blade
it's
fashioned in the
not.
image of an ancient
No,
serpent
no,
deity,
no,
hails from
no,
the forgotten religion practiced
no!
upon NT. Till now,
No!
this sacred relic was not merely a tool for battle, but a vessel of life itself.
Okay, I also found another mistake. The escape key is not working. So things to fix. Okay, I'm gonna go for a jog. I'm gonna take a shower, and then I'm gonna come back, and we hit it. We hit the 70%. We actually got over the 70%. We're at like 85% right now. The last 15% is going to be refining her personality so that she responds with appropriate and accurate lore information. Once I know that she knows all the lore information and can recite everything, that's when we're going to turn up her hallucinations and we're going to start asking her about things that the game doesn't tell us and see if she can connect those dots. So we are on our way. Uh, uh. I'm excited. I My goal is by next week's Golden Inquisitor call-in show, I want to have Lore-bot call in and give her a response on what's going on, or him. I really, honestly, I kind of like his original Stephen Hawking voice. I miss you, Lore-bot. Come back to me. Ay, ay, ay.